Hi, my name is Austin Sanford.
And I'm Adam Krefting. We are engineers at KREFT Moto. We're suspension tuners. We specialize in KTM, Husqvarna, and gas off-road motorcycles. We are testing right now at Kauai MX with David Pingree, and we're here to tell you a little bit more about the details of the suspension build that we did for the KTM 300 we're testing right now.
So just like any build, this Project Bike 300SX started with the KREFT Moto box. We send this directly to your door. It shows up empty with a return label on the inside. There are laser cut foam cutouts for your components specific to you and your bike. You drop them in, you put the return label on the backside and you drop it off, and it gets shipped right back to us where we receive it, inspect the components, and take a look at the rider information form that you filled out with our sales guy. The rider information form is really an in-depth way for you, the customer, to tell us, your suspension tuner, exactly what you're looking for. It tells you, or it allows us to get the detailed information on you, your preferences, your riding style, ability, and your terrain. So a customer who is riding first gear single track is going to need a really different setting than someone who's riding fourth gear warps. So that is the opportunity for you to fill that out and give us that information. We then take the rider information form, look at what you're asking for, install Rev Valve Control along with a custom personalized setting directly for exactly what you're looking for. We'll then put it back in the box, ship it back to you. When you get it back, you get your components and a really detailed customer packet. The customer packet contains a ton of information and allows you to go as deep as you want into tuning your suspension for any terrain you come across.
One unique thing about suspension tuning at KREFT Moto is we replace a lot of hardware that other tuners typically don't. For example, in the fork on this bike, it comes with Rev Valve Control, that's our name for it. So we replaced this entire assembly, the damper rod and all the parts attached to it. And this gives us a lot more tuning flexibility. We can do things with this that we can't do using the OEM parts. And it also gives the rider a lot more flexibility in terms of how you tune your own suspension. We give you an additional adjustment at the bottom of the fork that's kind of like the high-speed compression adjuster on the shock. So it's a much more effective adjustment than you normally get on a fork. It allows you to change the shape of the damping curve overall. So you can literally revalve your suspension trackside externally with no tools. So we developed a shock setting to match what we've done in the fork, and it uses a unique valve configuration so we can produce a similar damping curve shape, so you have a similar feel in the front and the back. And the way that the high-speed compression adjuster works is has a similar adjustment range to OEM, but the way that the curve changes is much more useful to the rider. So you're able to run the shock from full stiff to full soft on high-speed compression and have a good rideable setting at those extremes, which normally you can't do with the OEM shock. With the two combined, Rev Valve Control on the fork and our modifications for the shock, you get a bike that can handle a really wide variety of terrain, like everything from motocross to trail riding, and have suspension that's properly designed for that application. It's not just a Band-Aid solution, turning your clickers in or out all the way to just try to get by and make it passable. To help you in making those adjustments, we provide a settings chart to our customers that's just basic guidelines of where to turn your clickers for different types of terrain or soil. Of course, we provide thorough customer service. So if you have any questions about your requirements or any problems or difficulties that you find with your suspension, call into our customer service team. They are thoroughly trained on helping you diagnose what those issues are and troubleshoot until we can get you on a bike that you feel 100% comfortable with.
When we first received the new generation bike, it was a significant departure from the previous generation. In order to better understand that, we took a really deep dive into understanding the bike rather than just using the butt dyno to figure out where we were going. So the first step we did was to ride the OEM suspension, develop our initial opinions, come back with a plan on what settings changes we wanted to apply, and then dive really deep into understanding the chain torque, anti-squat, and all of the pivot changes that KTM made for this newer generation bike. That allowed us to understand the feelings we were having and the technical ways that they are affected by the suspension. With that information, we could go use our suspension dynamometer, apply the changes that we were looking for, and see the results on the bike in a much faster and better way than we've done in the past.
Thanks for joining us today. I hope we told you a little bit more about KREFT Moto suspension. Also, thanks to David Pingree for joining us for testing today. If you'd like to learn more, our website is kreftmoto.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at KREFT Moto, or give us a call and let's talk about your suspension. Thank you.